The Nightmare archetype, sorry, Knightmare archetype is a series of monsters all about extra linking. Extra linking is when you have the U shape connecting one extra monster zone to the other. What it does is it stops your opponent from going into the extra monster zones, which in Master Rule 4 was amazing. Now in Master Rule 5, it just stops your opponent from going into Pendulum and Link monsters. Anyway, let's go over the cards. Knightmare Corrupted Italy, level 2. You can use in Sprite. I think Castio used it. What else used it? That's about it I can think of. After normal summon, you summon a Link monster from your graveyard to your field, but you summon it too, so it would be pointing at this monster. Also, its attack is reduced to 0, and its effects are negated. So you summon this in your rightmost zone, then you summon something that has an arrow pointing up, left, and right. So then I guess I would continue your extra link, sure, but or you turn that monster into more materials. And why would you want to turn that into more materials? You would use this monster and that monster you just summoned to link summon. Why? Well, you can't special summon monsters except link monsters while this card is on your field. And if this card is sent to its owner's graveyard, you give it to your opponent in defense position. Yep. You summon back a monster from your graveyard and then turn that into whatever link monster you want, so your opponent can no longer summon anything except link monsters. And now, when you extra link your opponent, they can't summon link monsters either. They can't touch their extra deck. Or, I guess, also most of their main deck. Well, we also got stuff like Orcus Knightmare. At level 7 with non-stats that don't even bother getting mentioned. Can't be destroyed by battle with a link monster. Weird. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target face-up monsters on the field. You can't special summon monsters except dark monsters for the rest of the turn. Also send one dark machine monster from your deck to your graveyard except copy of itself, and if you do, the target gains attack equal to that monster's level times 100 in the graveyard until the end of the turn. Huh? So this doesn't make sense for a Knightmare deck, but it's an Orcus card, so it actually makes sense in the Orcus deck, especially because this deck doesn't get its Cybers, Fairy, and then Fiends. Our machine is not meant to be used in this deck, it's meant to be used in the Orcus deck, a deck all about banishing cards from your graveyard and then getting resources out of that. Now, I don't really know much about the Orcus deck, so I can't really tell you if this is a good card or not. I can tell you it's not really the best for this one, though. Now, our next monster, level 9, what was that called? You know the deck. It has Odin, it has all the other people, part of the Norse mythology, Generator. Yep, Generator support. Level 9 monsters you control can't be destroyed by card effects. Amazing. For Generator. If the total link rating of the monsters on the field is 8 or more quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, why 8? Well, think about it when you have an extra link. We have one pointing down, one pointing up, one pointing right, one pointing left, one more pointing right, one more pointing left, one pointing up, and one more pointing down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can form a full extra link. We can summon this to our field. Or, of course, have monsters that are more than the minimum. If this is special summoned, while your opponent controls more link monsters than you do, you can send all link monsters on the field to the graveyard? What? Why? Okay, so we want to make an extra link, which means we're going to have 5 link monsters. And our opponent can't link some, by the way. And our opponent's going to... You want our opponent to have more link monsters? Huh? So, from what it sounds like is, the only main deck monster that means anything for this deck is Ibli. Not this one. Corrupted Ibli. I guess that means it's time to go over the link monsters. 2 of the cards are banned, one of them being the Knightmare Mermaid. Takes any Knightmare monster except Knightmare Mermaid. After being link summoned, you can discard a card, special summon a Knightmare monster from your deck. Then if it was co-linked, you also get a draw card. This is a common theme when you see with the Nightmares. After being link summoned, you discard a card, do effect, but if it was co-linked, you also get a draw card. And then they all have an extra effect. This one, Knightmare, Mermaid makes so monsters your opponent control lose 1,000 attack unless they are co-linked. That's also a common theme. Everything we want to have is linked. Like this monster. Knightmare Goblin takes 2 monsters with different names. If this card is linked summoned during your turn, discard a card, and if this card was co-linked, you also get to draw a card, but you're allowed to normal summon additional time this turn. It also makes it so neither player can target co-linked monsters with card effects. Cool. Cerberus. The next couple of monsters are pretty generic. 2 monsters with different names, after being link summoned, do the Knightmare thing, you get to destroy a special summon monster your opponent has. Also, our co-linked monsters can be destroyed by card effect. Phoenix. It takes 2 monsters with different names, has the normal Knightmare effect, and targets and destroys a spell or trap card your opponent controls. Plus, everything that's co-linked you control can be destroyed by battle. Unicorn. Has the normal Knightmare effect, makes it so you spin anything on the field back to the deck. Whoa, that's incredible. I get why it's generic. Everyone wants to play it. Takes 2 or more monsters. Amazing. You can use it to go to Access Code Talker. Fun. Anyway, this one's gonna be this is the weird one. That's probably the best way to put it. The co-linked effect is, well, any co-linked Knightmare monster are on the field from your normal draw of your draw phase. Draw 1 card for each card among them co-linked Knightmare monster instead of just drawing 1. Alright, so instead of drawing for a normal draw, we draw for every single co-linked Knightmare monster we have. Huh? Okay. Anyway, now to specify, out of all of these monsters, we only have 2 with a downwards pointing arrow. That's Mermaid, and that is Unicorn. We also have Griffin, our link 4, which takes 2 or more monsters. Has the normal Knightmare effect, after you discard, you take a spell trap from your graveyard and set it to your field, but it can be activated this turn. And makes the special summon monsters on the field can't activate their effect unless they are linked. So you're not going to want to put this in your extra monster zones, because then it would be pretty easy for your opponent to put that into the zone, which is not what you want. So it means you have to use Mermaid. And then you put Mermaid in your left, so then you have to put Phoenix in your left, right below the left extra monster zone, and then you use Goblin, and then you use Cerberus, and then you use another copy of Mermaid. But Mermaid needs Knightmare monsters. Huh. So how's that supposed to work? Well, I guess then you can... No, that doesn't work either. You just have to branch out a little. Something I would suggest you branch out a little with, if it was all legal, I would say. Most of it's not. And it's only 2 cards that are banned, and those 2, we can talk about that later if they need to come back. Anyway, throw it in G-Golem. If you don't know what G-Golem is here, let me go... G-Golem is a link deck from Vrains. It was used by Earth. Now, this isn't the thing about G-Golem, but it's actually a very good deck to throw your Knightmare in, because Knightmare isn't really a deck on its own. It's a deck you throw other decks in, like throwing in G-Golem, which allows you to extra link better, allows you to get a bunch of effects out of it. G-Golem likes to have monsters co-linked, likes to have monsters linked. Oops, sorry about that. Anyway, now that you know about all the nightmares, time for you to talk the subscribe button. You might get a piece of Exodia. Might have it. Ooh, actually that was Skull Servant, not the right arm. Oops. Well, I guess you should complain in the comments about not getting the Exodia.